Hi, and welcome to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. It's the holiday season, and here at Community Hotline, we're going to start out talking with an organization who will be helping others in the community during this holiday season. Fill-A-Bag is a program benefiting SnowCap community charities, and here to represent, I have Bess Wills, the owner of Gresham Ford. Thanks for being here, Bess.
Hi, Monica.
Good to see you again. And Larry Schwartz, the Vice President and Branch Manager for Riverview Bank.
Hey, Monica.
Person I see pretty regularly these days.
Thank you.
It's good to have both of you here and talk about Fill-A-Bag again, because it's obviously still a huge need in our community to feed the hungry, who are usually our neighbors right down the street. And it's amazing how great of a need there is. What can you tell me about what's different this year? I assume you've both talked with Judy and people at SnowCap. What's different this year? Is the need as great as it has been in previous years?
Well, the need's always great, Monica. I think there's a little bit of good news, but with that comes some also different kinds of needs. People are back to work, but they're still struggling. Still on the edge, and that's what SnowCap. That's their niche, if you will.
They're kind of the demographic they shoot for, right?
They take care of people on the edge. Somebody that's had a medical problem, or a senior citizen. Perfect example, a senior citizen on a fixed income that this winter is going to have to choose between buying groceries or paying that utility bill. And so just to be able to provide that box of food for that senior citizen, so they don't have to make that difficult decision.
Right, because nobody should have to make that decision.
No. Last year when we were talking, I think we said there was 8,000 people that they helped on average a month.
Which is a lot of people.
In November it was 11,000.
Wow, so, 11,000 people.
And they think the reason is partially, at least, because rents are increasing, and as Beth said, you've got to make a choice. Do you pay your rent? Do you eat?
And the rent has gone up everywhere, but especially in this part of the state, it's gone up unbelievably. And sure, that's going to be tough for people. And there are people that are homeless, but those people that do still have their homes but are trying to make ends meet and are struggling every month just to be able to feed their families. And SnowCap does help families, individuals. There's what do they ask in return from the people that they serve?
Well, a lot of times, they have great success stories. Well, quite frankly, those that have run businesses locally, we know people that, maybe at one time or another that have been our employees that have used SnowCap, if you will.
Because everybody has some time in their life.
And so you always hear the story is, they helped me once, and so now I volunteer there. And so, and so I don't think that there's any mandatory thing that you use our services and then we require this. But I think so many people have felt it such a blessing to have been helped that I think that they, that it kind of, it's kind of a pay it forward kind of thing.
Right. I think you're right, Bess, because there's a lot of people, there are so many people that have been helped, and a lot of people who maybe you would never have guessed have needed help at some time in their life, but everybody has a struggle of some kind or another, and it may not be that they're lacking food, but everybody has something going on.
And the great thing is about SnowCap is it's definitely, a hand up, not a handout. In the sense that that's what they're looking to do, is they're trying to help people so they can keep their jobs, so that they don't have to quit their jobs and become full-time on assistance, or something, that you just need that little bit of extra to get you through those tough times. And, quite frankly, that benefits all of us in the community. I don't think we really give them credit for how much this system saves us as a community, if
Right.
you will.
Because once you get in that cycle of being on public assistance, it's really tough to get off of that.
Yes.
So being able to prevent that by just being the Band-Aid there that helps them through those tough times is a huge deal.
And the other piece of that is, if you've increased your business, if you will, by 30% in a year, you need more volunteers. You need more people to help them help others.
So what is their need for volunteers like right now?
Their need is always there, but it's more centered now actually on people with better technical skills, perhaps, computer skills. They're trying to interview the people coming through the door and understand what's affecting them, why are they there, and building a database, I believe.
Get a better grasp of what the needs are, why people are in this situation, and then it'll give them a better idea of how to move forward and help them, I imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the wonders of our community is beautiful and we have all this, but one of the things that I think is part of this struggle, and I could be wrong on this, but is that you're right, Monica, rents have gone up exponentially, but it's mostly, in downtown Portland, so that's forced people with limited means out to the east side, and so I think that we're experiencing, some of that there's been kind of a migration to the east side of
you're
people
absolutely
with less,
right.
you know what I'm saying, less
Less
resources, and so that I think has been a challenge of SnowCap, is to keep up with that.
I'm sure it's very difficult too. I think you provided a few pictures of some of the people working at SnowCap, and I'd like to take a look at those now and see if we can get an idea what people are actually doing here. The Fill a Bag program. Okay, now this is these are something we've got right here. Those are your jars for money. Is that right?
Right.
So you're not taking just donations of food and the like. You're actually taking money donations as well, correct?
Food is great. The old banker, cash is king.
Yeah.
And they can actually buy food through Oregon Food Bank for $0.05 a pound.
Wow.
So
you can get a lot more for your money that way.
$1 equals 20 pounds of food.
That's a lot. And what are these ladies doing here and this gentleman in the back?
Well, this was the fold-a-bag party that, prior to, this is how we kick it off every year, and 10,000 bags get put in the local community paper.
Right.
But they have to be folded so that the paper can put them in there, and then there's an envelope stapled to them. So you get your choice. You can clean out your pantry, which we'd love you to do, and drop it off at locations like Gresham Ford or Riverview Community Bank. But again, like Larry said, 5 cents can buy a pound of food for SnowCap at the Oregon Food Bank. So if you have a choice between having to go purchase to put in the bag, it's probably better to put $1 in the envelope.
Right. And what about this? This looks like somebody maybe
down at the warehouse.
Down at the warehouse, so they're getting together food to fill the.
They do a great job of staging the food so that they can take the clients in and have a shopping experience so that people get what they know how to use, because different cultures obviously, have different things that they know how to cook, and so forth.
You could put something in a box that they would never ever use, and,
Exactly.
and that's a waste, sure. So being able to do it that way to shop is
and there's
a really
some
nice
wonderful
option for them.
volunteers that help, the clients get through that warehouse and get what they need in there.
Okay, so when people are out in the community, if they see, I want to hold up this. This is what you were showing on the screen there. So if people see this, throw a few bucks in there, throw your change in there, whatever. This is a great way for people to be able to, you go shopping, you got a little bit left over, just throw it in there, and it's going to help. And if this, if you want to do it the other way, we also have these bags. So this is a bag here that has a lot of the sponsors on here. I know Gresham Ford and Riverview have been wonderful sponsors for this this drive. But how many pounds of food? Do you remember how many you got last year?
Approximately 500. Well, the equivalent, because it's cash and food.
So
about 500,000 pounds.
Wow, that's a lot.
And that covers SnowCap's need for about 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Wow, that goes fast.
That's a good thing. The other thing, Monica, if they want to give in their pajamas, when they're watching this show the early wee morning hours, you want to do it now, you can log online to snowcap.org.
Oh.
And there's a fill a bag button.
Perfect. That makes it so easy. You know, I would also encourage businesses and local organizations that if they still haven't gotten that, decided what they wanted to do with their employees, you know, to consider donating. Here at MetroEast, we had a big holiday production last month where we had school groups come in and do musical, they had musical numbers, and then we had nonprofits come in and do holiday greetings. In fact, I want to show the holiday greeting from SnowCap here in a minute, but for every DVD we sold to the music groups, we took some of that money and donated it. So I have a check here for you for about $500 for the Fill a Bag program from MetroEast.
That's great.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So,
Okay, you're the banker, Larry.
Yeah.
Oh, great, on the spot.
Okay.
So about 10,000 pounds of food.
Yeah,
right in this
10,000
envelope.
pounds of food.
Yeah.
Okay, so 10,000 pounds of food, and then there's another, and I can't do this in my head either, but they say a food box is about, you know, let's just say 50 pounds a week for a family of 4. So think about, you know, that's
great. That you know, that makes us feel good. You're welcome. And these are the families who, you know, whose kids were performing here. They wanted a DVD of their kids, but we let them know that, you know, every DVD you buy, there's a, you know, majority of it's going to go toward Fill a Bag.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
MetroEast, you guys are great.
Thank you, thank you. We're really happy to be involved with this too. So,
And see that's the easy thing. I mean, businesses can do this. They can adjust things. They can.
yeah.
I mean,
You know,
and it
instead
doesn't
of-
take anything
we just
out
upped
from
the
that.
amount that, you know, it costs us to do that, and you know, throw some
Yeah.
extra on there and told people what it's for, and people are happy to do that. Make it easy for them.
Well, and we all do a little bit, and then we raise 500,000 pounds of food and take care of them for 3 months. So that's you know, with all of us doing just a little bit. Oh, it make me cry.
That's okay. I like it. I'm glad. Yeah, I didn't warn you about this. I well, you know, I do want to show this, the holiday greeting we did, which I believe it was Kirsten and Judy who did it. So maybe we can show that. They did their holiday greeting. They talk a little bit about SnowCap in that.
SnowCap, the tall and the small, was facing a Christmas with no food at all.
But how could this be in a land of such plenty? How can our neighbors have a Christmas so empty?
And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so?
They don't have enough food. They don't have a warm jacket. Their children don't even have toys that make racket.
He puzzled and puzzled till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
Maybe Christmas, he thought, could be filled with more cheer if people like me started to volunteer.
And what happened then? Well, at SnowCap they say that the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes that day.
And the true meaning of Christmas came shining through. The Grinch knew just what to do.
And now that his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he raced down to SnowCap in the warm morning light.
With a smile in his soul, he handed out shirts. He handed out a pair of gloves and some skirts.
He handed out toys to the boys and the girls. He handed out snufflers, pantukas, and furls.
He gave food to his neighbors, enough for a feast, and the Grinch, he himself, gave roast beef.
Welcome, Christmas, bring your cheer to all our neighbors far and near.
With Christmas while we stand, with open hearts and open hand.
Merry Christmas from SnowCap.
Well, that was definitely not Judy and Kirsten. I forgot there was Nate, the volunteer coordinator, and I forget the other gentleman's name, but great, wonderful people that are helping out SnowCap, and you get the message. They do amazing things in this community and have for years. Very well-respected organization. So have you? Larry and I were talking about this earlier, and Bess, maybe you're involved in this kind of thing too, about how it's really important to raise your kids and to understand that being a part of the community means giving back. He was talking about things he's done with his family, and I've done things with my family. Do you see that a lot? Do you see a lot of families participating in these kind of drives to help out their neighbors in the community?
Well, and it just goes from one thing to another. When we talked about the Fold-A-Bag program, and one of our community members brought her granddaughters to fold the bags, you know, at the dealership. And after that, the Gresham Outlook had this thing where the kids draw pictures and so forth. Well, that little girl drew a picture of the Ford dealership, not because it's the Ford dealership, but because it's the place where they did the Fill-A-Bag, you know.
Oh, love it.
And so, you know, I mean, you just don't know how all these things pay it forward. You just
Yeah,
don't.
they do. And don't you think that's important? I mean, that's great. She brought her granddaughter. That's a wonderful thing, because you get that to be part of who you are, and you know that it's what you do to take care of your neighbors, to be part of your community. You just help out where you can. And you know, and sometimes you may need that help.
Well, and SnowCap is such a wonderful thing, because it does stay all of it right here in our community.
Right. So it truly can be people right in your neighborhood, and you don't always know who needs help. So
And we've been, I think we can say we've been pretty fortunate in life, and our kids have followed that suit. They've been able to reap our benefits.
Right.
And so I think it's great for them to see, it's not
Yeah.
everybody has it as good as you do.
And the thing is, any of that can be taken away at any time.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. You never know. So you better understand that there are people less fortunate and appreciate what you have. Be thankful at Thanksgiving and all year long, and then help out those less fortunate. So this is a great opportunity for people to, even if it's the kids, throwing a little of their extra change in there, or, when you go shopping and you pick up an extra, a couple cans of something. It's easy to do. It's easy to make a difference. So.
Well, and this is truly one where you can tell the kids, you give up that candy bar, you can actually, if it's $1, you can buy 20 pounds of food.
Which is
for somebody.
amazing.
Which so really a nickel, sometimes, a nickel's not a lot of money, but to a little kid that's a lot of money.
Right.
And so with a nickel, they can make a difference.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, that's a great way to explain it. Anything else that we should know about the Fill-A-Bag program before I let you go today?
Well, just again, the 3 ways to donate is to fill a bag with actual groceries.
Right.
To, watch for the jars around town, to put some money in. And then if nothing else, go online to snowcap.org. And we'd love to, any of those ways are great. And if you have a business and you'd like more information, how to get some bags or how to get some jars, contact Larry at Riverview Community Bank on Burnside or myself at Gresham Ford.
Great. Well, that makes it very easy. And just before I let you go, I know that SnowCap also does provide clothing as well to families. So if people have, some gently used clothing or even new things that they want to pass on, they can also drop it off there too. So.
Exactly. And baby food and baby items are
Baby food and baby items are a big
need.
one, aren't they?
Right.
Yeah. And I was also talking to Judy Alley earlier, and she was saying they'd love to be able to have some actual fresh meat, like a turkey or ham or something, to be able to give to some families, maybe some of the larger families who aren't going to be able to have a big dinner for the holidays.
Because formula and baby food is something they cannot buy at the Oregon Food Bank.
Ah, that's why it's so important.
That's why
Okay.
it's so important.
Yeah,
So if you're going to go to the store and buy something,
That's
a good
that's a good thing to get.
That's a good
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you can't buy something, the other thing that they're always looking for is if you clip those coupons in the newspapers,
Yeah.
clip the baby food coupons and the formula coupons and drop them in the mail to them. They're always appreciative of those.
Great. Hey, I would never have thought of that. That's a good idea.
That's a 49-cent expense.
I'll tell you one other thing real quick, is when my daughter had a baby, she planned on nursing, but she was given a whole bunch of formula. I don't know if it was at the hospital or if it was just mailed to her or what, because somebody knew she was, having a baby, so they're trying to, push the formula. But she wasn't going to use it, so I donated it to SnowCap. I mean, how easy was that? So, if you get some donated, you're not going to use it, then you know where to give it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks very much, both of you, Bess and Larry, for being here.
Thank you and the employees here at MetroEast for
Yeah.
their generous donation.
And it's our,
Thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. Thanks so much for watching this first segment of Community Hotline. You know what to do with your extra time and money, so here's a great opportunity. I'm Monica Weitzel. We'll be back in just a few moments.
What local community media is to us is literally our lifeline to what's going on in the lives around us.
The absolute most important thing that happens in your neighborhood.
People's local communities are usually what's most important to them.
Because we're the faces, the smiles, the peoples, and the personalities of the community.
To not only give people a voice, but to have their voice heard.